Hi, I'm Senator Ed Markey from the state of Massachusetts, and I'm here in Washington with Christiana Figueres. Christiana works at the United Nations. She's in charge of the part of the United Nations which is putting together the entire framework for dealing with climate change as an international issue. And she's been good enough to be here with us today. We're having an international conference of legislators meeting here, and she is the keynote speaker, letting people know that there has to be a plan that is put together. And what I'd like to do is just ask you, Christiana, how do you feel about this issue in terms of the threat to the planet, and how optimistic are you about our ability to deal with that threat?
Well, I'm optimistic. Otherwise, I couldn't do the job, right? I need to wake up with a smile on my face every morning and really hit the road running. But here's why I'm optimistic: because I do see an increasing number of national governments, subnational governments, corporations, financial institutions that are realizing that it is in their own interest to address climate change. What worries me is the pace with which this realization is occurring. Because the fact is, we are going to move toward a low carbon and high resilient society anyway, because that is in our evolution to do so. The problem is that we don't have all the time, and that we must reach a peaking of global emissions within the next 6 to 10 years. Global emissions peaking. And we must reach carbon neutrality globally by the second half of the century. So we do have two alarm clocks here. One is very soon, and the other one is a long-term alarm clock ring. And my concern is, are we actually going to make it in time? But are we moving in the right direction? Absolutely.
Now, you talked earlier today about your daughter and what
Yes.
your hopes are for your daughter and the planet that she is going to live on. Could you talk a little bit about that and why it's so important to you?
Well, because the fact is that we've only borrowed the planet from our children, right? I mean, they've sort of said, okay, well, you take care of it for a little while until we get there. And that's what we're doing. We're just here temporarily, assuming that we're adults and responsible human beings, and that we have the stewardship of this planet that ultimately belongs to the next generations. And so it is incumbent upon all of us to be the best stewards that we can. We are the first generation that truly understands the impact of what we're doing. My parents didn't, right? They didn't know that burning fossil fuels had the kind of impact that we today understand. The science today is absolutely clear. So those of us who are alive and those of us who are in the position of making decisions and of creating policy are the first generation that have had full knowledge and hence full responsibility.
So what does it mean to you that in 1997 there were 37 countries, that there were 37 laws internationally that were on the books dealing with climate change, and now there are 500
Almost 500,
laws?
right.
So what does that mean to you, and how optimistic are you?
So that's progress in the right direction, right? That's progress. The problem is that those 500 laws, much as they are definitely better than what we had in 1997, they do not put us on the path of staying within a maximum temperature rise of 2 degrees centigrade or 3.6 Fahrenheit. So it definitely is. It's almost as though we're paying into, we're putting, cents into the piggy bank, but it doesn't add up yet. We're learning, the legislative bodies of the world are learning, the energy sector of the world is learning, the forestry sector, everybody is learning, and we're all walking in the right direction. But we have a deadline here that we have to meet.
Beautiful. And you are the leader, and it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for all your
Senator.
tremendous work.
Thank you for yours.
Thank you.